counted only 5 times in his entire career has an accident led to a retirement in his rally. It's a career that's lasted, what, 11, 12 years. It's quite some record. But that crash on Friday has opened a window for Mikko Hirvonen. These points are crucial. I
spoke to Loeb yesterday and I said, did he kind of feel like he wanted to fly home yesterday morning? And he goes, I made the mistake. He said, I've got to come back and try and score points for Citroën and the manufacturer. But also, he was thinking all day yesterday, not this morning, about these 4.5 days.
Well, there we go. 1.5 up on the fastest time so far, set by Ken Block. As expected, Loeb is on a charge. And all he has to do now is keep his foot to the floor through this flat-out finish. And it'll be interesting to see what line he takes. He's past the, let's call it Henning's corner. And let's see what he can do. Let's see what line he takes, sorry, as he comes into this tight left-hander that leads to the final straight.
You're talking about Mr. Neat and Tidy here. Let's see.
He was actually very wide in the first pass through. It does seem to be some of the drivers seeming if they can... No, tidier, yeah.
He's not as tidy as Ogier, though, but Ogier maybe was already starting to back off at that point.
There you go, 2:21.4, the time Loeb needs to beat to get into the top point-scoring place and put him in a provisional chance to get 3 World Championship points. Let's see what he can do. Ooh, almost got some air over the crest. 18.1. That is a good 4 seconds, 5 seconds quicker almost than his time he set this morning. Loeb was quickest through here this morning.
That will take some beating, I tell you, that really will. Because our next guy, he just wants to consolidate his career best finish.
Yeah.
And will not really be wanting to risk anything in this last stage. But Ken Block leaves. He stood there for a fair while.
Yep, it was a good run from Ken. Still got a chance to get a point.
Still see the dent on the car. That was from Friday, stage number 3, the first stage. Loeb sits fastest on a 2:18.1. Khaled Al-Qasimi and Michael Orr about to leave the start line.
Sluggish run off the line there.
Just a little bit bogged down as he set off there. But as you say, the road, is it going to clean? I'm not really sure. Well, it will. It's not a case I'm not really sure. It will clean, but how much, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, it's really the final 2 Ford Abu Dhabi drivers, the works drivers that are manufacturer points nominated, that are going to be really challenging that time by Loeb. But of course, all these guys now coming through have got career best finishes, certainly these next 2, and then it's all about that 1-2 finish for the works Ford team with Hirvonen and Latvala. But Al-Qasimi and Michael Orr, it's been quite a run. Their previous best was 6th, very wide across the sandy part of the road there.
Khaled's very exuberant. He likes to drift the car a lot, but that was just a little bit wider. Here he comes down into the water splash, very steady.
Yeah, we saw this
earlier. He doesn't
want
to break anything, does he?
Yeah, we saw this earlier, very tentative through that deep water splash.
You think for his team, because he's got his own team now. This is a point-scoring team for the Abu Dhabi Tourism Authority. And it's 5th place overall, career best for him. The points he's going to get, he does not want to ruin anything now.
Yeah, co-driver, as we said, Michael Orr, his best in Australia, 19th 2 years ago. He's on course to smash that. And as you can see on the right there, his WRC best, 6th place in Greece 2 years ago, about to be beaten by 1 position. After 43 starts, Khaled claims a top 5 finish as long as he can make it through these last flat-out corners of the Clarence Power Stage.
I think it's great for Khaled. I mean, these people, they come along and they support us, what, 10.8 down on the time of Loeb. But as we said, that is not a concern. All that's a concern now is he's got a couple more corners and then a long straight before he can claim that 5th place. You can see there the suspension working. Look at it, moving up and down. Now he's hard on the brakes through the right, and then into the left.
Yeah, the only Middle Eastern representative in the WRC at the moment. Of course, to set a terrific finish in his 2nd attempt at Rally Australia.
In his wildest dreams, he wouldn't have thought. I mean, at the end of the day, people might say, well, he hasn't been super fast or anything like that. But it doesn't matter. He's got to get around all the corners that everyone else has got to get around on that Friday, which was treacherous.
Yeah.
And Khaled got through, along like with Matthew Wilson and other drivers. And that's why they're in the top 5. But here he comes towards the finish.
Yeah, well done, Khaled. Well done, Michael. Top 5 finish secured. Sebastian Loeb, I think he's going to be stood out there in the heat for a while. And Daniel Elena, they're not used to this, are they? Normally they're the last guy through.
He will not complain about the heat if he can take 3 more points here. He will not worry one bit.
22.8.
Yeah. Back on the start line should be Matthew Wilson. Yep, there he is. Driving for the M Sports Stobart team. was a shame for Henning's problem yesterday. It was actually Matthew that replaced him in that 4th spot. They could have had a 4th and a 5th. Disappointment for that, but, well, for Matt and co-driver Scott Martin, again, like Khalid, well, actually not to beat their best time, but actually to equal their best time, result, sorry, that was scored in Japan a few years ago.
Yeah, 4th overall. It was actually, when Matthew got to the end of the stage where Henning had stopped, he said, oh, have you heard what's happened? What's happened? So I feel so sorry for him. The camaraderie between these drivers is incredible, you know what I mean? We heard when Novikov's crashed this morning, both Ogier and Loeb stopped at the scene just to make sure that everyone was okay. And you probably wouldn't see that in Formula 1.
Here's a quick reminder where we stand then. Loeb, 2:18.1. That's the time to beat. Still lots of chances to get into the top 3. The next best is Block, 3.3 down, and Ogier 5 seconds down on the time by Loeb, and that was after he backed off at the finish to make sure he didn't take any more points from his world champion teammate.
That's it. Look at this. You can just the dust trail out the back from the aerodynamics and the gravel being thrown up. It's just incredible.
Yep. Well, Matt, as we said, co-driver there from Scott Martin. Australia best 6th. They're about to beat that, of course, and he's had 84 WRC starts. Amazing to think how young he is, really, still in his early 20s. This will equal his best ever finish, as we said, in Japan 4 years ago.
It's a long time ago. I don't know who'd be more nervous, Matthew, is Mummy Lane, or Malcolm, you know what I mean? It's kind of like...
Well, yeah, like similar to Khalid, we're seeing not seeing a gung-ho approach to the power stage. It's all about securing what would be a fantastic result. Again, look at that suspension working hard. The body of the car barely moving, and the bumps and ruts all soaked up by the dampers.
It's been a strong weekend. We said it, you know, disappointing weekends of Citroën. It's been a very strong weekend for the Ford Fiestas, even from the customer side.
Yeah, they have survived some pretty atrocious conditions, certainly on day one. Very dry and dusty since their release stages, where they have been really well received by the drivers. Maybe not the wet roads on day one, but these have been some terrific roads in Australia. Foot to the floor, Matt. Just the dip and the rise into the flying finish, and you're home free.
It just keeps glancing down at the onboard computer in there. But 2:26.
Oh, just outside the top 3 points. That won't worry Matt too much.
I don't think that will. The 4th place is a much, much bigger reward for him, as Seb just stands and waits.
Yeah,
the problem is now he's got Petter Solberg, Mikko Hirvonen and Jari-Matti Latvala. Are they going to ruin his chance of taking any more points? Now, Petter is in 2 minds, I've been told. He needs the 3rd place podium, but he would love to win the power stage. Which one are we going to get?
Of course he will. Petter's away. He's on course for his 2nd podium finish of the year, but will the competitive animal inside Petter be able to resist the chance to fight for a few extra championship points? He's already won 1 power stage, remember. Can he do it again?
I'm not sure. With Solberg, as you said, the 3rd place and the manufacturer points, the publicity responses is great. But as you say, once the helmet goes on and you come through the first couple of corners, you think, oh, it's going quite well, I've got a great feeling for this. Let's just keep going.
Normally with Petter, you get a sense by watching him through the first few corners. So let's have a look. How aggressive he's looking. Oh, nice and tidy.
Yeah.
Tidy off the quickest, though.
Yeah, neat and tidy. Let's get it. He gets the grip better, gets it down. Here he goes. We'll gauge it through the water splash. Well, he's on it.
Yeah.
Right over to the left-hand side.
That was obviously premeditated to stage that side. Maybe that's where it's less deep. Keep the left wheels on the out of the water. 2:18.1. That's the time to beat. 5 seconds slower than that will still get him into the top 3 positions.
I think he'll go in the top 3 without a worry.
Oh, yeah.
It's whereabouts. Oh, how casual are we?
What would you expect anything less from Monsieur
No,
Loeb?
not from Monsieur Loeb, no. The coolest man in rallying.
Yeah, and Petter, possibly the most fiery man in rallying. Let's see what Mr. Hollywood can do.
He's on that long straight now, and 0.9 down.
Not much in it.
No, not a lot in it.
He does often finish these power stages strongly as well.
It's that last corner where he's got to get the front end in and get the grip, not run wide. That could keep him it.
Let's see what Petter can do.
I think we've answered the question of he is going for it.
Especially after Illen's received that spin. That would have given him a further incentive to keep attacking. Still lots of rocks and rubble being thrown around. Lots of loose stuff out there. Seb and Daniel watching on nervously. Last corner coming up.
This is damage limitation for these two in the left-hand side, Elena and Loeb. It's damage limitation.
Yeah, Seb taking a look at this position before, really trying to look up the road, see where Petter is. Petter's foot hard on the floor, dips down into that compression, then up over into the flying finish. What can he do? 19.4, it's not enough, but no. Petter does move into second. Nod of the head from Seb and Daniel.
To be fair, Seb and Daniel could stand on the roof of that car because it's that bent. Citroen ain't going to be minding if they want to get a better view. Yeah, he's just got confirmed. Yeah, oh, we've got 1 point. Yeah, we've got 1 point. He's into third. Obviously, 2 only still to go.
Yeah.
So that's 2 points minimum for Loeb. So he admitted completely, didn't he, on Friday, his mistake. Okay, Mikko Hirvonen, rally leader.
Rally leader Mikko Hirvonen. Well, it's been a while since we've said that going into the final day.
He will, the law of averages, he will not push because he's got so much to lose. But then he's got a chance of gaining another 3 points on this man. So, you know what I mean? It's what you do. And I still think he's going to go for it because they always say you don't push, you lose the concentration, things like that. But I'm not expecting 101% flat-out run here.
Yeah, and remember, Mikko Hirvonen is a triple power stage winner. He has terrific form on these end of rally power stages. He's already on course.
Look at the bumper. He's pushing. He's pushing. Malcolm Wilson, he'll be sitting there thinking, oh, my word.
We have already seen how this stage can catch out the unwary. And Mikko, if he's on the attack here, he's got 25 points on the table. Does he want another 3 to further eat into Sebastian Loeb's lead?
He does want them. It's how much he wants them.
Well, yeah. Just 3 rounds to go in this World Championship. It was looking like Loeb was pulling out an unassailable lead, but suddenly that's been turned on its head in Australia.
Loeb doesn't give gifts very often, and you've got to take every single opportunity. And Mikko, it's not lost on him, that isn't.
2:18.1, the time to beat. Petter Solberg second, 1.3. Let's see what Mikko can do.
Hirvonen on his way down here. This is the corner we've got heading out. This is probably the trickiest one. He's okay. Yep, he's okay. So Hirvonen on his way now. Come on. What's going to happen? Coming out. 1.4 down. Loeb's face, a little sigh of relief now.
Yeah, he looks a little bit ragged at times, doesn't he? I mean, he is pushing, and sometimes you push too hard.
Well, you could overdrive, but I mean, maybe, to be fair, we saw the Ogier, you'd have seen the Ogier to back off. You'd have seen, obviously, that Matthew and Khaled didn't go flat out. So he still probably can get on this podium, even without 100% drive.
Yeah. There for Mikko. Keep it together.
This is the last corner.
Yeah.
Neat and tidy.
Yeah, he's safe. There we are on board with Mikko and Jarmo Lehtinen. The time to beat, 2:18.1.
Loeb's a little bit nervous. Hirvonen, obviously, he's going to win this rally. He's just got the straight to go. He's going to win the rally. Who's going to win the power stage?
Here we go, flying finish. I think he's slow. Yeah, he should be. 19.7.
He's slower than Petter.
Yeah, only third best for... well, this will be interesting then. Does Jari-Matti Latvala push on for a power stage point himself, which could then sacrifice one for his teammate? That's not going to be a very popular move.
I think the message probably will be going to the car right this moment of, this is your target time. So, I mean, you know, they've got to maximise both of them. You've got Citroen working for Loeb, we've got Ford working for Hirvonen. Ford have been gifted a golden opportunity this weekend, and they have to take every possible point. I got a feeling if we could see the screen in that car, it would have written on it 2:19.8.
Well, we're about to find out. Jari-Matti Latvala, he's had a terrific run, obviously winning this rally, leading this rally, sorry, for much of the event. He played the perfect team role of dropping back this morning to allow his teammate through. 2:18.1 is the time to beat, and it's the time 1.6 beneath that he needs to keep an eye on. Will he come through and beat his teammate? He's obviously capable of it. He's shown fantastic pace this weekend. He's obviously on course for a second place finish. Remember, there is a 1-2 finish for Ford at stake as well.
For Latvala, he's just got to get through here. It's huge pressure. And the relief, Ford haven't yet committed for next year. And this is just the biggest bonus that they could have had. get these cars through first and second, close the gap up in the championship.